Welcome to the Biz Bash podcast, where we make biz strategy a piece of cake. I'm Elizabeth.
And I'm Cami, but you might know us better as Eliza Ann Calligraphy and Cami Monet. We want to help you, our fellow stationers, artists, and calligraphers, confidently build a profitable and personality-driven creative biz.
We're here to share our honest-to-goodness advice and actionable strategies for ambitious artists.
So put on your party hat, quit being a procrastinator gator, and let's get this party started.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Biz Birthday Bash podcast. Happy New Year. It is officially 2023. Holy cow, time has gone so fast. I just can't even believe it. So today we are devoting this episode to New Year goals. It was originally going to be a Q and Cake, so we're doing kind of like a funky hybrid. We're doing a Q and Cake New Year goals edition. So we're going to start off by Cami and I asking each other a few questions or just answering a few different questions. And then we're going to talk about in the second half of the episode how you can go about setting goals and planning for 2023, which is funny that I'm even like offering to talk about the subject because I think Cami and a lot of you guys might know that I really hate goal setting. It's not my favorite thing to do. But I was like, you know what? It would be good to talk about this a little bit. I know it's very valuable.
It is valuable. Elizabeth hates goal setting. She hates January. She hates, I don't even know what else, but those are the two main things I know that she hates.
Yeah, exactly. Those are probably top.
Probably top two hates for Elizabeth. I almost said Auntie Elizabeth. For Auntie Elizabeth. Auntie Eliza Ann. Okay.
I am Auntie Elizabeth to Mia, so that's fine.
I just got in a really silly, goofy mood. All of a sudden, I just feel so jazzed. I think the coffee's kicking in. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Oh, this is hilarious.
Okay. I love what I was going to say.
No, you're good.
So goals for the new year. Okay. Number one goal is to calm down right now. We need to chill out.
That shouldn't be a goal for you. You know that'll never happen.
Honestly, it really does need to be a goal for me because I need to slow my roll a little bit because I get way too jazzed. I am my own worst enemy. I just make everything 1,000 times more difficult for no reason, but it's fine. This isn't therapy for you guys.
Self-awareness is the first step, Cami. It's
okay.
What
therapy is like. I'm just like, I'm the problem. It's me.
I'm the problem. It's me.
Okay. So 2023, golly, it's already here. Talking about goals and all the fun stuff. So I guess we're talking a little bit about what did we do this year. So what did you enjoy working on the most this year, Auntie Elizabeth?
Well, I enjoyed a couple different things. This was overall, like 2022 was very much a transitional year for me because it was my first year 100% without any wedding related work at all. It was actually crazy. When I was doing my Christmas cards, I realized, holy cow, have not placed an order with my printer since last year for my Christmas cards in 2021. So that is like the true sign that I literally was not printing anything, doing any sort of like production stuff at all this year. So what did I enjoy working on? I have made a transition into the online teaching space, as a lot of you know. So I have continued to help clients this past year organize their online courses. So I partnered with Nat of Papel & Co. to release her Plant and Grow course earlier this year. So I was in Florida filming for that. And then she actually released her Art of Foil Press Printing course solo in December, just recently last month. And I was so proud of her because that's exactly what I want to happen. Like, I want people to take the reins and move on and launch their next things and just be confident kind of moving into that space. But it's really fun to be able to partner with people, at least initially, to help them do that. And then the other big thing that I have going on is Ceramicon, which this actually might be formally like the first time that I have ever said anything about this to you guys, to BBB specifically. But I am hosting an online summit for ceramicists and potters called Ceramicon, and early registration is happening at the end of this month. So Will and I had continued to joke, that's my husband, this whole entire year. I was like, I just need my next harvest festival, quote unquote, which is a Parks and Rec reference. Like my next big thing that I'm going to plan that like brings me joy and brings me excitement. So even though I never intend to sell my own pottery or ceramic work, like a lot of people got handmade gifts for me this year or this past Christmas, which was really fun. Even though I don't want to like sell or market my own work, I was like, there's nothing from stopping me from like hosting an event in that creative space. So don't worry, guys. I am not abandoning BBB or any of our like calligraphy stationery friends. I will still be here. But that has been what I've been working on. And it feels like a good time to finally be able to talk about it.
And I got a mug.
You did get a mug.
I got a mug. It's so cute. It's got a little heart on it. It is adorable. Can it go in the microwave, by the way?
That's actually a really great question. My understanding is that they can.
Okay.
I mean, they're fired in a kiln at like almost 2,000
I just didn't want to like
degrees.
ruin it. I probably won't because I don't like doing that.
I know. I would be careful with it just in case because I myself don't feel like entirely sure. I'm sure I could ask the shop where I bought the clay, right? Like, can this be microwaved once I fire it? But yes, I made 3 mugs this year and Cami got one of them.
I am so special. I know.
Yeah.
Oh, it is so cute. So yay, Elizabeth, that is just so awesome. And I'm so glad you finally told everyone all your secrets. Everything always like so secretive with Elizabeth. I always know what's going on. I'm like, just tell everyone. She's like, I can't
because I'm like worried I'll get like the yips or I'll like freak out or I always want to make sure like I'm actually doing something for me and not because like I feel like I have to or I should or because I'm like trying to impress somebody, you know? So
yeah, honestly, that's
but now it's like really, really actually happening. There's no going back at this point. And I have all my artists.
At some point you can't keep it all to yourself because you got to promote the tar out of it on social media and annoy yourself. So, you know?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. That's how it goes.
All right. So now you answer that question, Cami. What did you enjoy working on the most in 2022?
Well, you know, I really enjoyed like purchasing collections for my shop. So doing like retail buying, I really enjoyed that process of like kind of visualizing how things will work together. People were using them, trying to think of like putting them together as gifts, just like thinking of like, oh, if I got this, it works well with this thing I have. Like I really love doing that. And this was like the first year, well, because I opened my shop in, last November. So I didn't have like a ton of, like when I first opened it, like it's laughable how much stuff was in it then versus now. Like it is packed to the brim because I think I've just kind of like gotten my stride as a shop owner and just like owned that role a little bit more because I always just kind of felt like an imposter a little bit. So being like, I do have a shop and I can bring in other things and just like enjoying the process of buying wholesale from other makers and playing with that. And then, you know, also along the lines of that is planning my collections around things that I purchased that will work well. So that kind of like helps me shape having things be cohesive. So I really enjoyed that process, which also makes me feel like a sellout because I'm like, shoot, I'm like an artist. And now I've all really enjoyed just like buying from other artists. But I think also like in this season, it was really easy for me to fill in the gaps in terms of not like launching as much stuff, although I still feel like I launched a ton of crap, but not launching as much stuff because I wanted to spend time with my daughter, Mia. So I could fill in the gaps by bringing in other makers. So that felt kind of weird for me at first, but now I just like really have started to own it and yeah, still enjoying it and not feeling like less of an artist because of it, I guess, has been,
yes,
you know,
good for you.
Like even with like party pennants, I'm like, these are so dumb. Like this is just words. And like, that's what makes like sells the best. And, I mean, like in terms of like creative ability, I mean, they're still creative, but I'm like, I can do like really good paintings. Like, why are these the things? But I'm like, you know what? This is what works. And I have fun making it. And they sell because there's so much fun behind them. And this is like not even answering the question anymore. I don't even know what we're talking about. But
no, it's good. I love it all.
Yes. So I'm like, you know, it's because it has the fun behind it. And I see the vision and I love seeing how everyone uses all the stuff that they buy from me and my shop. And it's just been so fun. So I've just like really enjoyed that. And also people being able to come into the shop and seeing their faces get excited when they read the cards and, you know, be like, oh my gosh, this is such a cool thing. And I'm like, yeah, and you know what? This goes with it. And they're like, what? Mind blown. So I have like absolutely loved that. So I want more of that in 2023.
Yes, amazing. And also, I'm about to put you on the spot.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think 2023 is the year that Cami Monet makes a perpetual calendar?
Oh gosh. I mean, it is on the list. It is on the list.
Oh my gosh.
So it probably is happening because I'm like, that is something I really want to do this year. Like I've
been
saying
waiting
that
for so
years.
long.
I
feel like I'm
know.
that meme where it's from like Harry Potter. Like, I've done my waiting 12 years of it.
I know.
When he's
I know,
like in Azkaban or whatever.
I also think this might be the year where I actually do stuff a little bit earlier because it is harder for me to be nimble. You know, it was so easy for me to be like, oh, I'll just knock this out in like 2 days. But like for me to do something requires a lot of planning, a lot of other people's planning. Like I have to like, you know what I mean? So I have to like definitely be more on top of it this year. So I'm like, this year could be a year where I am a little earlier, but we shall see.
Yes, sounds good. Yeah, I know you and I are kind of going to be doing the same thing of like tightening or trying to tighten up some like loose ends for us because it used to be so easy to just sit down and like find time to record or wherever. And I think this year we're like, oh shoot, we need to actually like reestablish some really good consistency.
Yeah,
because
for sure.
Everything has to be planned like a little more. So yes to that, to all the things. Hey guys, we just wanted to hop in and talk about one of our amazing resources, the A to Z directory. All of us have thought at some point, how did she do that or how did she make that? And maybe you don't know where to start or how the heck to produce this amazing product you've dreamt up.
Well, the A to Z directory is the missing puzzle piece in your biz, you guys. Seriously. So it's built in the form of a yearly membership, and it's your one-stop shop for finding suppliers and vendors for all the things. Literally where to print everything from custom invitations, greeting cards, mugs, koozies, acrylic printing, letterpress, custom ribbon. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And it literally goes from A to Z. From acrylic printers to zipper pouches, we have it in the A to Z directory.
We want to help all of you search less and create more with this list of 300 plus vendors and suppliers. Don't worry, they're very organized. It's not going to be overwhelming and confusing when you join. And this membership also includes access to a private Facebook community. It's incredibly active and involved. And if you need a question answered fast, that is definitely the place to go.
Yeah, our Facebook group really is the best. You guys, everyone is so helpful in there. And we're in there too, answering questions you guys might have. So it's a great way to get access to us and ask us things without sliding into our DMs. So we're more likely to answer you in the Facebook group, just saying. Anyway, also in the Facebook group, this is new for 2020 and we're really excited about it. We are hosting monthly Power Hour Q&A sessions that are live, and these are only available to our A to Z directory members. So you can hop in with us live and ask us all your burning questions in real time and just hang out with us every month. And we do these at different times so you can actually be there live, and the replays are always available in the Facebook group for members.
This resource is priced at $147 a year, which honestly is extremely affordable and is full of so many benefits, such as exclusive vendor coupons for members only. And we would love to have you guys join. Seriously, it's kind of like our family and our tribe. So visit bizbirthdaybash.com/directory to sign up today and use coupon code podcast2020 to receive $20 off your first year. That's podcast, all caps, 2020 for $20 off your first year.
We can't wait to see you in the Facebook group.
Okay, so I do feel like, Cami, you did a really good job of answering what you want to do more of in that question. I think you kind of answered number 1 and number 2.
Oh yeah, what I want to do more of. Yeah, just more of the same. I've enjoyed pushing like the retail side of things. I feel like wholesale has been like doing its thing really well. So because I worked on that for so long. So now I just want to like continue to grow retail because it's been such a weird year of like Instagram and stuff. So I'm like, let's just focus on like local people and not so much online because I just feel like it has been so tricky on that. So I've just kind of like owned that, and also just owned putting other people's stuff on my website, which was also something I was like weirded out about because I was like, everyone's gonna be so confused when you have like Q&A, but it has my stuff, other stuff, but I couldn't get around it because when I would share on stories, people would be like, oh, I want to buy that. And I'm like, well, this is silly. If I'm going to have it, like I might as well sell it online. So just kind of like reframing what the brand of Cami Monet is. And it's not necessarily just about me anymore. It can be about other small businesses too. And maybe I'm just like the curator of all that, and I get to bring everyone into like my idea and vision of what I think would be a fun party or a fun gift or creating joy for like the small little moments in your house, like things like that.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, I don't think I said what I want to do more of necessarily. So
Yeah.
I'll answer that one really quick. I want to continue to do more of my like pottery and ceramics work just for myself. That has been so fun for me to pursue that as a creative hobby. And more, it's hard for me to say like what I want to do more of work wise necessarily, but I feel like because Cami and I have some exciting changes coming down the pipeline for BBB with the new website and things that we're kind of trying to fine tune on the back end. Like, I do think that there is going to be a little bit of a shift for me next year where I try to do more for BBB, because why not? I mean, like, we're already obviously like doing a lot with like the podcast and all those things, but I just feel like could be a little more organized, and like we've wanted to do some tutorials and some things before, so I know that will be a shift for me. It's kind of like developing a plan to make it happen.
Yeah, Elizabeth
and then I'll
is the
overwhelm
heart and
Cami
soul.
with the plan.
She's the heart and soul behind this. I'm just like, just tell me where to show up, and I do nothing. So thank her. She's the best. Oh gosh.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Okay, things we want to do less of. I actually know mine like right off the bat, so I'll start if that's
Okay, cool. Because I have no idea.
Okay. Things I want to do less of might be the fact that my Etsy shop still exists. You guys, you might be shook hearing this right now, but I have been selling those wax seals in partnership with a company for a long time now, and they've been really wonderful since 2018, you guys. So 4 years. Like, that's a long time, I feel like, to be doing something, and it's been really great. It's easy. You know, I get the purchases on Etsy for the wax seals, which I then put into a spreadsheet, which I then go back later to like add the shipping, because the company ships them out for me from their warehouse. But it might be the year that I don't want to do that anymore. Like that I don't want to have like Etsy or retail, because I'm getting to the point where I see those emails in my inbox and I don't think of it as like, yay, I got a sale. I think of it as, I have to like open that spreadsheet and copy and paste everything over and do the shipping and all that stuff like that. So I think that's like kind of an indicator once you aren't like excited about something anymore.
Mhm.
So yeah, I think it might be time to let go of that, which is kind of hard. So I might have to talk to that company to be like, hey, I have, this design does really, really well. Do you guys want to sell it on your own site? And we can like work out some deal, because I think my Etsy shop is going bye-bye. I actually just put it on vacation mode a couple of days ago, because I was like, I don't want to put up with anyone else ordering anything before Christmas, which, by the way, guys, if you're confused, like, yes, we are recording this before Christmas. And that was a really good feeling to have. And I was like, that might be indicative of something for me. It's not like it's a huge moneymaker anyways, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're not excited about it, that's when you know it's time to say goodbye and put on the shopping block. See you later.
Yep. So what about you, Cami? Anything you want to do less
Lord.
of? Well, you said be calm or be chill. So what, less freaking out?
Maybe I need to just less freaking out.
Yeah.
I would say putting unnecessary pressure or deadlines on myself for literally no reason. Like there's like I'll just get so worked up about something that needs to be out, and it's like, and Alex is like, what? Well, who is that for? I'm like, because I want it to be out there. He's like, it doesn't really matter. I'm like, no. So I love doing that to myself. So maybe if I could just do a little less of that and just, be a little more chill, and also like think big picture too. Because I'm always like, this has to be like the best year ever. Every single year I say, oh, this has to be the best year. Like I want huge growth. Next month has to be better than this. And I just like always, I'm so ambitious to a fault. Like it drives me crazy sometimes. So just maybe like a little less of always pushing so hard, and maybe just a little bit more like just kind of like relaxing a little bit and chilling, which I did. I think I did do better at that this year, because I obviously had to, because I had a baby this year.
Yeah.
So there was like that naturally built in. And I was like, wow, I work like a 10th of the time that I used to, and like things are still going on for me. So
yeah,
so
things
I
are still
could
happening.
do a lot less than I have been doing in the past, and have been doing this year even. So So yeah, just like keeping that goal in mind, because my business exists basically so I can spend time with my family and be a mom to Mia full time, obviously, because I don't want to send that girl daycare. Like, I want to hang out with her all day. She is the coolest. So that's like what my business needs to be for me, is just like a way to support that goal. And honestly, it's just like my fun little thing, you know? So it doesn't have to be like, you know, gangbuster level every single month or whatever.
Yep. Completely agree. You know what? I'm really proud of you.
Oh, thank you.
I know that that's like so silly, because I actually remember asking you that question like last year about this time. We might have done a similar episode, or we're talking about our year in review. And I think I had asked you, like, why is it that you feel like you always, you know, want to grow, like that it has to grow? You're like, I don't know. It just, you know, it is how it is. Like, I just have to. So I think you were already aware that you were that way, but it's cool to see that. I mean, obviously, I think Mia has been a huge catalyst for some of that like shift, but it's just cool to see. So good for you.
Maybe having a baby changes everything. For sure. In like the best ways. So yeah, just being a little bit more chill, and I'm like, you know what? My business is still here. Like, I don't have to like go feed it 1,000 like protein shakes every day to make it grow. I can just give it like a little sip here and there, and it still does just fine. I don't know why that was the analogy I went with, but
well, because you have a baby. That's what you're thinking, I think.
Protein
just,
shakes?
like, in the mindset of well, you said give it a bottle.
Oh, I thought I said protein shakes. Did I say bottle?
Well, you said protein shakes, but then you were like, "Oh, give it a sip," and I thought of a bottle. Never mind.
I was like, did I say
now
bottle?
We're just all really.
Gosh.
Now we're all really confused.
No, I just got really concerned for myself. I was like, shoot, I was thinking the word protein shakes and I said bottle. I'm insane.
You said protein shakes.
Woo! Just making sure. Either way, it doesn't really make sense. But yeah, then I had another thought. It's gone though.
Go for it.
It's gone like the wind. Sorry. It'll come back.
It'll come back. Don't worry. It'll come
just
back.
Carry on. It'll come back. We'll come back to it.
What we'll do is I'll start moving into like the next little second half of the episode here. And this part will go by really quick, because it's basically just helping people evaluate how they want to set their goals and plan for 2023, which, you guys, I can't even believe I'm doing this, because I'm just not much of a goal setting person. However, these are really good things to think about. And I think that maybe I do some of these. I just think about goal setting in a different way. Like, I don't think of it in the power sheets way. That makes sense. So
yeah, you don't have to, it doesn't have to be like all structured and like guided, you know. It can just be like just kind of taking a little check. It doesn't have to be so much of a task. It can just be like a sit down sesh.
Yeah.
Which
and
makes
I think
tasky.
What actually has helped me reframe this is like the fact that Cammie and I do host our year in review episodes every year. And I was like, oh, it's basically the questions we ask ourselves before we get ready to talk about that episode, review our year, and figure out what's next. So obviously, the first thing you're going to do is sit down to assess your overall 2022. So what happened in 2022, how much you sold for each type of product or service that you had, and then also put those in buckets to break down how much revenue you made from each of those, because it's really good to evaluate if your heart is aligned with what's actually happening in your business, right? So it's really easy to get caught up in like, well, I love this and I put so much effort and time towards this, but maybe that bucket is like way smaller than something else. And there's always value for spending time on things that you love, but we always need to like compare these things, right? To like check in to make sure that everything's working and that the business has a pulse in the way that we think it does, right? Because you don't want to be so like severely misaligned that it could damage you in the long term.
For sure.
And then understanding your biggest expense in the past year. So like, where is most of your money going from an expense perspective? And all of these things, like the monetary side of things, will help you align basically like what you might want to do more of and what you want to do less of. And so you got to check in with like the number side, but you also got to check in with your heart side, and they need to like balance each other out a little bit. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, for sure. But like if you're like, oh, I really love doing this, but it didn't make that much, but maybe there's a way I could like market it better or just start to shift my business into this. I mean, that's kind of like how I have changed. My business has changed so much since I first started it, but it's all like always aligned with exactly what I wanted to do. Like I love doing wedding invitations. It was so much fun. And then I was like, this isn't where my heart is, because I know in the future I'm going to want to have a little one, and I got to keep my hands free because I'm going to be holding her little booty. So, I started making this shift to be like, well, I could make more money here. How do I scale this? How can I shift towards this little bucket here? And kind of scale back that other bucket. So think about that too. Think about like your life plans, like how much time you want to put into stuff. Obviously, like that's the season of life I'm in, but if you're considering that too, like that's definitely something to think about.
Yes. And I'm so glad you brought that up, because that's definitely one of the bullet points, is that you want to make sure your priorities and goals align with what you want your life to look like with your family and with your spouse or your pets or whoever it is in your life that takes priority. You want to make sure that you have time for them built in. There's nothing worse than our businesses running us when we should be the ones running our businesses. So do not forget that there is not joy in burnout. That's just simply the truth. I don't think anybody's ever going to be like, I'm so burnt out, but I'm like still joyful. Like, I mean, it can exist, but
you don't want to get to that point. That would be me. Just be like, I hate everything, but I'm loving it. That's like that.
Yeah, exactly. And it's then at that point, it's almost like if you've hit that extreme burnout, then you're just trying to like crawl back from this hole that's already been dug. And the goal is to prevent that from happening in the first place, right? So like, what do you need to do in your business to prevent that from happening? And maybe that'll help you plan your 2023 and like shape your goals and what you want your business to look like.
We also did a podcast episode on this that kind of like goes into specifics of how to run your business so it doesn't run you. I think it's called, do you run your business or does your business run you? Oh, go figure. And I love that episode. So there's a lot of like really good, like practical takeaways from there, rather than just being like, go figure it out. That there's actually ways to how to figure it out in that episode. I have no idea what number it is, but just search for it. You'll find it.
Yeah, I will try to find the link for that, and then maybe we can include that link in the show notes for you guys if you want to go back and reference it. Just something really important to think about and kind of keep in mind. And the last question is, when you assess all these things, that ultimately helps you figure out whether you need help in your business. So whether or not you would potentially have to hire someone this year if your goals are to have a bunch of growth, but you know that you can't do it all yourself, like you will need help to do it. So there is a fine line, which can often get blurred because sometimes it is hard to figure out between being able to do everything on your own or moving to a team business model. And I think I would love for Cami and I to do some episodes on that like really focus on that transition in the new year. So I think some of that will be coming, because it's not always easy to figure out, but there are ways that you can go through to like make lists to help assess the situation.
I hate being a manager. That's not like one of the worst things. That's what I want less of.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it's just hard to like run a team, have a team. I mean, it's great because people are doing work for you, but like I'm such a control freak, and sometimes people don't do things the right way, or sometimes there's mistakes, or sometimes there's drama, and it's just shenanigans. So
yeah, no one will ever care about your business as much as you care about your business, and that can be
have
really
to like recognize
hard.
that.
It can be really hard to reconcile that. So more to come for sure, because it does mean that you would end up in a management position.
I know. I'm like, how did I get in this management? I'm the worst boss because I'm like so overly nice, but really I'm like so mad sometimes, and I'm like,
yeah.
So great. And so I'm like, oh my gosh, like just do it. So I'm like,
I get to see the like angry side of Cami, which is like so funny, because it's like this like happy angry, and you're like, but this is actually really terrifying, because like you're smiling,
Southern sass
but
coming
you
out,
got the fire in your eyes, and I'm afraid.
No, but I'm pretty I'm very low key and chill. Like, I mean,
you are.
Yeah, I'm a pretty chill boss. Like when people make mistakes, I'm like, no worries. I mess that up like a million times too. But like after like a lot, sometimes I'm like, okay. Like I have like a very hard cutoff. Like that's how I work. Like remember when I was getting my website done and I was like, everything's fine. And all of a sudden I was like, it is not fine anymore. And I just like fired them.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Like you let things kind of build up.
I do. I'm just like, it's fine. And then I'm like, nope, we have reached the limit. But that limit's pretty far for me. Like I'm pretty like low key. But once we hit the limit, it's just like there's no turning back. I'm like, that's it. You're canceled or whatever. I give you a lot of room, but sometimes people can like take advantage of that because I'm a little too nice, I think.
Yeah, it is. It's very interesting. I've talked to my dad about things like that for sure. I don't know. Maybe I could do like a little like podcast series with my dad where it's like management school 101.
Oh my gosh,
and we could
seriously.
like have those episodes on BBB because that'd be so fun because my dad's gone through so many iterations of that like during his many years in business, and you just need it's just such a different frame of reference. But
It
anyways,
really
you guys,
is.
I know we're getting like super sidetracked. That
No, this
kind
would
of
be a
is,
really
like,
good episode. There's so many things to talk about with this.
I know. I need to like go down and
Like
I need to
scheduling and payroll and
re-listen
all-
to this
oh my
episode
gosh.
and then take notes later on when Cami and I are not. It's only a few days before Christmas right now because we're insane. So we had to record the last 2 episodes. But you guys, I hope that some of that came through. I think it did. We got some really good stuff out there and more good stuff to come for sure.
Yes, more good stuff.
Happy New
So-
Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year. Tell us your goals on Instagram or in our Facebook group, the A to Z Directory, because I love hearing what you guys are excited about. We'll do like a little post because I love like hearing what everyone's like trying to work on and just like a little, maybe like a little year in review from everybody else. Just like, tell us all the stuff. Give us the hot tea.
Yep. And you guys, it is the first week of January, so I don't think it's happened yet. There will be a price increase for the directory membership. Not if you're already in, okay? Y'all are grandfathered in if you're already part of it. But if you're thinking about joining and you're going to be completely new to the directory, the price is going up like sometime this month whenever we launch all our website stuff. I'm sorry that is so like gray and not black and white. We just don't know the specific cutoff point yet. It is happening. So if you want to join the group to have all of those discussions, go to bizbirthdaybash.com/directory. That is truly where the party actually is and all the stuff happens. We would love to see you in there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all I had to add. Just, yeah.
All right. We love you guys so much. We will be back for more good things. Year-end review episode of Cami and I breaking down our entire 2022 will be coming out next week. And I know you guys love that one. That's why I keep hyping it. So it's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Cami,
right.
do you have any of your funny like goodbye sayings for us?
Oh, peace out, rainbow trout. I don't know.
Okay. That was good.
All right.
But say it with more enthusiasm.
Oh, sorry. Peace out, rainbow trout. Woo!
Bye.
Bye.